Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio. This is episode 607, recording on May 28th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
And I'm the other host, Kyle.
And that's it. The new guys were afraid of their 1 year review, so they're
Has it been 1 year already?
I think it's actually been more.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm not good with dates, though.
No, me neither.
So let me yell at my dog. It's trying to eat the cat food.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it's been a year. But yeah, I'm not good with dates either. So.
All right. Well, why don't we start with what we did in guns? And Kyle, you wanted to start us off?
Sure. I didn't end up hitting the range this weekend like I thought I might, because Saturday spent prepping for a trip and then hanging out with friends. Saturday evening, we decided that we were going to head out early Sunday morning and basically go to the north edge of the state for an overnight camp trip. Won't call it overland. We did hit a little bit of gravel, but not much. It wasn't an overland trip, and we paid for a camping spot. But it was an awesome camping spot down by the creek, and we did tour something gun-ish. We stopped in and checked out Los Alamos.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, that town is flourishing, and I love their town motto. Their town motto, when you pull into town and you got the sign that as you're pulling into town, where discoveries are made. It's not wrong. Like, that town changed the world. And if you're listening and you don't know what Los Alamos is, that is where all the science for the atomic bomb, the bombs that they dropped on Japan in World War II, that's where all the science was done to develop those. So yeah, it was cool. Checked out Science Museum there. It had a bit on that, but yeah, it was a cool trip. Just get out and tour. So yeah, we did that kind of guns. Saturday, this coming Saturday, I'll be able to pick up the AR-10 lower and start changing out parts on that, because I checked it out and it's going to need a safety. You need a trigger, obviously, like triggers up there. Safety. Actually, I have a safety up there that I can throw on there as well. But also,
You got to get the fancy safety on there, right?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, it's just got the single-sided 90-degree safety. Like, you got to have 45-degree. And ambi, I love ambi. So.
I don't.
No. I like it for putting the safety on when you're dumping the gun. It's so easy to rock that safety on. But my Roth Performance M2 buttstock came in. So there it is there. I have it on my spare receiver that is still just got the paint taken off of it. I got to finish this receiver, get this gun built. And I think this buttstock is actually going to go onto this one, because I think I'm going to build this M2 as my replacement, and then my current one will be more or less my backup, because it's getting old and tired. But this buttstock is kind of interesting. So it's adjustable length of pull, adjustable cheek weld. It is pretty much entirely 3D printed, except for like your metal posts for your end springs and whatnot. Length of pull is very easy. So you got those two pins there. You just pop them out, and like your springs and everything are captured with screws, so you don't have to worry about this shooting out. So you just got these little pins with just a little ball detent on it. and then you can just adjust it for whatever your length of pull. And like, it's got a lot of adjustment there. Like,
that's quite a
you
bit.
got long arms if you're doing that. One thing I am a little bit disappointed in is that's pretty much as low as that butt pad can go. And I was really hoping to be able to drop that lower because lately I've been having, well, it used to happen all the time start of the season, but I'm still battling with having to spend time on the gun because I shoulder low. So I was hoping to be able to drop that down so I didn't have to make adjustments to myself. It was just more natural. Yeah, that's where I shoulder it, but it brought the back of the gun up to where I need it. So I got like a 1/4 of an inch adjustment on that. But it's interesting. So I was saying last week, it's got springs in here. So like this is like kind of like shock absorber. They are stiff springs. I'm interested in the material on the butt pad because this is a very soft, rubbery butt pad, but it is 3D printed. You can see the layers on it.
Oh, must be TPU then.
No. I have TPU and I've printed with it. It is not TPU. It does not feel anything like TPU. So TPU is flexible, but it still feels solid. This is like a soft rubber. So
interesting.
Funny story. The day it came in, I got a notification that I have a new cheek weld or a new cheek plate coming in because it's got a recall. I guess it's redesigned, a little bit more of a curve, a shallower radius on this back part. Because I could see that would break, especially because on this piece, the layers are going vertically. So they said nothing wrong with it, but it's just a stronger piece. And I mean, adjusting, even these nuts are 3D printed.
But they must go onto a real nut.
Oh
right?
yes, they go onto a real bolt. But yeah, and then you can adjust your cheek weld. So I might find some neoprene to put onto my cheek plate. And this is actually something I'm curious about because I just holding it for a couple seconds. This is going to get sweaty and very slippery. So
not textured enough.
Oh, it's not textured at all. Like it's got some cool ridges for like what we'd call like I guess a palm swell. You can kind of see a little bit of the contour in there, which actually feels pretty nice. But now, being that it's 3D printed, I don't know if I should take an iron and stipple that. So I'm thinking
you could do it with an iron, maybe at lower temperature.
Maybe. Like I don't know the internal structure though. I don't want to pop through. Like I don't know if he made this solid or if what the infill's like, how many external layers there are. So I'm thinking I might try and find like a semi-aggressive grip tape or something that I can put on there, still make it look decent, but because like even just holding it like this, that's going to get sweaty and slippery in no time. So yeah, a couple things that are kind of, I guess this plate here that your butt pad, and apparently this butt pad you can put onto the stock Comfort Tech receiver as well. So, but this plate that it clips into is also metal. So, but I still undecided if I feel it's worth the price. Like it was $350 US. And yes, some good engineering. It seems like it's quite good 3D printing. Like I suspected, it's not what I've been producing. It's some time, and this is a good 3D printer that they've used for this. But you can still see their classic 3D print. We'll call them errors or faults. But yeah, is it $350 good 3D printing? I don't know. But I did spend the money, and I'm going to try it out, and we'll see how much I like it compared to the Comfort Tech. So.
Maybe 3D printing is there, right?
Yeah. I mean, Magload caddies, they're 3D printed for where they actually hold the shell. They're 3D printed. So I mean, like I was saying before, you can get really good 3D prints that hold up to abuse.
And I mean, if it's a low production item, it just never makes sense to make a mold, like make a plastic mold for it. So
yeah, and I mean, like maybe 3D printing, it was a way to keep costs down. Like I said, I still have a hard time believing that this was anywhere close to that. Like, I'd love to know the profit margin on that.
It's probably huge, but then there's engineering, and then there's time to, like.
Well, yeah, I think this first batch, he basically, like you got the engineering and trials and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's basically it for me this week. I gotta get someplace that I can put that on a bench and get the Dremel on it, because I don't want to do it in here with the carpet and everything. So I got to find a shop setup that I can actually get to building that shotgun, get that load port done, and then just build the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
cool.
So yeah. What about you, Adriel? What'd you get up to?
This last weekend here, I did a maple seed double header. So that was just the same course, but 2 days. A couple of interesting things. One guy did both days, and I'm like, man, this guy's not going to show up the second day. He showed up and he did the whole thing, which is something. Because I mean, you've been to him. You know that after that day one, your neck isn't feeling that great. You know, you've been laying on the mat and going through it.
Oh yeah, like when I did mine, even when I was helping you the second day, I was like, I'm glad I'm not shooting today.
Yeah. Anyways, that guy, did 2 days, which is kind of interesting. So someone showed up and they cracked open their case, and like one of them had a single shot 22, and then the other one had 308 lever. She was like, she's talking to her, I think she was talking to her husband. She's like, you packed the wrong gun. So they both got loners. She
needs those danger noodles for the fast reloads.
It was a Savage 99, so it would have been from the top.
Oh.
5 rounds max kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
Would have been funny. Yeah, and one thing I noticed it pretty much at every maple seed, but this is my first of the year. I'm like, man, okay, if you're out there and you're listening and you have a Ruger 1022 and you have a scope on your Ruger 1022, put that shit as far forward as it can go in the rings. As far forward, because the length of pull on those things is not very good, and invariably people get onto the stock and they're holding it way at the back, way at the back, and we have to put the foam noodles, the pool noodles, and we have to tape them to the back of the stock to kick the gun forward on them. But you can get rid of a lot of that just by mounting your scope as far forward as it'll go.
I think,
and not high. We had a couple of people with rings that were like
super high mounts.
Yeah, and then we have to throw more pool noodles on to get a cheek rest, right? So that they got something proper.
Change it from a chin weld to a cheek weld.
Yeah, well, I think like some people are using like especially the worst offender is the AR optics mount, because those mount the optic for a straight line stock, and you go quite a bit higher than the bore. And
those are typically like an 1.5 inch mount.
Yeah, 1.5 inches. Which you don't need. Like you can get it with a low, with most scopes on a Ruger 1022.
Well, it depends if they're putting a big 50 mil on there or something. Yeah. Which, I mean, if you're putting a 50 mil, you're going to need tall.
Well, and then the other thing, you might be able to get away with a medium. The other thing that comes into consideration is the magnification piece. If that hits the rail or binds with the rail, and then where the end of the scope goes, because when it gets big, if it gets big where the rear sight is, no go, right? Because that rear sight is, depending on your scope length, might get in the way. Anyways, PSA, mount your scope as low as it can go and as forward as it can go.
Yeah, well, set your eye relief. Go prone. Set your eye relief for prone, and then go from there. Just same like that. I think that's a good message, because I've done it myself. I've set eye relief standing. Oh yeah, no, that's good. And on the highest magnification as well. Yeah,
the highest magnification is going to be the most difficult
GoPro,
to get eye
highest
relief
magnification. Set your eye relief and your cheek weld for that, because when you go down to 1 power and standing, you're gold.
Yep. I ordered some stuff from Tenda. I'll let you guys know when it comes here. I saw today that, and this has something to do with guns, tangentially something to do with guns. High temperature PLA is now available. It's PLA, but it doesn't get soft when it's 60 degrees. It only like gives up at 100 something degrees.
So does that mean you got printed at a higher temperature too?
Nope.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep. I sent you a video because I know you print and I know Dustin prints as well. So yeah. And actually, does Tony print stuff too?
He does.
Remember.
I don't know if he's actually got a printer though. I know he's capable of it.
Mm-hmm. That would be good stuff. So like there's some gun accessories that you can 3D print, mag pouches, that kind of thing. And PLA is not a great choice because if you're out in, 30-degree weather and the sun's beating down on your part, it could get the part up to, depending how thin it is and the darkness of it, could get up to 60 degrees. Then it starts to soften and then it's not going to work anymore. So that's why I've been printing all my stuff in PETG, but PLA high temperature, HT-PLA sounds good.
I'd be interested to see how its memory is, because I know when I was trying to get away from Delrin and basically hand making the stage savers, and I was trying to do it with 3D printing before, PLA, after like maybe an hour, not even, of a shell being in that stage saver, it wouldn't retain anymore. It just kept that
falling
form. It wouldn't spring back to its original position.
Yeah, PETG's good for that. Better for that. And then this weekend, I got a pal and RPAL. Maybe I'm going to camp as well. So maybe this will be my third weekend camping in a row, which it's been good. Got some new mattresses, some new like toppers for my camper, just so I can side sleep a little bit more comfortably. And other than that, yeah, I like camping when I shoot because it means more time to sleep in the morning. I basically get up, like when I was maple seeding, it's like, oh yeah, I got to be there for 6:45 for line setup. What time am I going to get up? 6:35.
Yeah.
Just roll out of
People
bed.
are showing up, getting their stuff ready, and you're rolling out of bed.
Yeah, no. That's time for a line setup. Like the attendees don't show up until like 7:30, 8, somewhere around there. Yeah, but just get up, wipe the drool off your face, and just go. Yeah. So that's all I've been up to recently. I've got a question from Jamie here. He's saying, are all Turkish hunting shotguns basically the same quality? Not even remotely. No. CZ makes some shotguns in Turkey. Lots of Stoger shotguns are in Turkey.
Winchester shotguns.
Yeah. Those are the good
It's-
ones. But then there's also some total garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And it's just like anything. It can, like, that's one comment, not this one here, but it's from the same factory, so just as good. No. Just because it's made in the same place or the same factory doesn't mean it's as good.
Well, a lot of times
you're going to have
they're not made in the same factory either. It's something else.
Yeah.
But, of the Turkish hunting shotguns, there are a couple of gas operated ones that are copies of the the SA08.
The Winchester.
No, I don't think it's a Winchester. It's
SA08.
Yeah. Is that Winchester? No, it's not Winchester. I can't remember which one it is. But yeah.
Weatherby. That's
Weatherby. The Weatherby S. There's some that are copies of the Weatherby SA08. But then there's also some that use the Benelli inertial system. Mm-hmm. Now, if I was to get a Turkish hunting shotgun, I'd want the inertial system one, because the gas system one, and of that SA08 copies, they have like single rod versions and 2 action rod versions. Get the double one if you're going to go for the gas version. Single one's not very durable. I actually had my single one out shooting the other weekend, and it lost its charging handle, and I couldn't find it because it was in the grass. And now, good luck to me to replace that. Whereas the inertial ones will shoot for longer, dirty, than the gas ones will.
Yeah.
and they'll be cleaner. So if I was getting a Turkish hunting shotgun, I would look for one that's inertial.
Absolutely, yeah. They're more reliable. Once you find the ammo, like you can't shoot super light ammo.
Mm-hmm.
You have to shoot heavier ammo than you would with a gas. But yeah, ammo aside, they're functionally more reliable.
And if you're shooting hunting, like
You're
duck
going to be
loads and
shooting
goose loads,
higher powered
it'll be-
stuff anyways.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, good question. Let's get into upcoming events. So we've got some maple seeds coming up here, and we're doing some maple seeds. Just got, again, done the Sherwood Park ones this last weekend. This weekend coming up, we have Regina in Saskatchewan, Atlantic Marksmen's Association in Dartmouth. Same weekend on the Sunday, we have Armstrong, BC, but that one's sold out. And the weekend after, we have Rocky Rod and Gun Club. That one's also sold out. Coming up soon here, Brockville in Ontario. That'll be June 14th, June 21st, and 22nd. Stittsville in Ontario. On the 28th, there'll be Blue Ridge Sportsman's Club. And in New Brunswick, the Havelock Sportsman's Club. And that takes us through June, so that should be enough on that side of things. I am doing some PAL RPAL courses this weekend. The PAL's almost sold out. The RPAL still has some spots available. And then I'll be doing one in the middle of June as well, June 14th and 15th. Am I going to camp every weekend? Let's see. What's the weekend after this one? Am I going to camp that weekend? Yes, I am. Because, How many weekends in a row am I going to camp? I'll stop. Oh, that's not too many. Not too many. I'll stop here. I'll be done late June. Good thing I like camping.
Yeah.
There's going to be the Apex Rocky Mountain Challenge PRS 2-day qualifier match, July 12th and 13th. Is there anything else you want to mention about that, Kyle?
Yeah, so that's a Apex put on event. It is a pro series, but I think it's open to everybody. There's like 70 some spots available. It is not on Practice Score. You got to go to apexoptics.co. They have a banner that shows the match and then a link. It goes to I think it's impact scoring to actually register, $300 registration. And I know they're putting a lot of effort into this. They want to make it a world-class event with world-class targets. And it is in the Calgary area.
Yeah, just west in the foothills there, it looks like.
Yeah.
Which, because they're not being specific, it must be at a private area?
It might be at a private area, yeah.
Match location, yeah. Cool. Very, very cool. If you're in Ontario and you're looking for some rifle matches, go to OntarioRifleAssociation.ca. Got some events up there. If you're looking at 3Gun, go to 3gun.ca. Actually, the MP3G guys are going to be running a 2-day match coming up here pretty quick.
Yes, they are.
So take a look for that. If you don't have a handgun and you're in the Edmonton area and you want to do something, we're going to be running the Sherwood Park Fishing Game Rimfire Madness, June 28th and 29th. All you need for that is a semi-auto 22 and a shotgun. And they don't even need to be that good to have fun. And then coming up on June 7th is National Range Day on June 7th. Oh, there's Vanya just commenting right there.
Awesome.
Saying it's at a private ranch. Here we go. Perfect. Election Canada issues. Did you put this on in?
No, I did not.
Bloc Québécois pushes for by-election in Terrebonne after 5 more ballot issues declared in riding. So that's that one that was like one vote away from flipping. So yeah, they're pushing for a by-election. That's pretty close. So I could see why they'd be doing that. And I hope they do that because that will help us out as well. There was a throne speech made in the last couple of days here. I don't know if the Americans find this as funny as I do, Kyle, but here, maybe you can ask him. But don't you find it funny that we had a foreign king? Not foreign. I mean, he's technically the king of Canada, but we had the king from England come down and talk about how sovereign Canada is by giving a throne speech.
Yeah.
It seemed kind of like it was kind of goofy. It's like, yeah, we're so sovereign, such a sovereign country, said foreign leader of said country.
Yeah.
But anyway, in any case, the things that gun owners might care about, they did talk about hiring more RCMP personnel, 1,000 more. They said they're going to change firearms licensing. That doesn't sound good. And they said they're going to strengthen enforcement of yellow and red flag laws, which they've been talking about for 4 years already by now. So the only thing that's different there is that change in firearms licensing. I'm curious to see what
that scares me.
Be.
That makes me nervous.
Me too, because with that change, I'm not sure what that brings for me, what that brings for everyone else.
It's a liberal, so you know it's not a good thing.
No.
Like, you can be hopeful all you want, but you know it's not going to be a good thing. It's not going to be for the benefit of gun owners.
They're not going to be like, you know what, these courses are kind of out of date. Why don't we just give them an update? Like, let's not talk about black powder so much and revolvers so much. Let's talk about stuff that people actually use and want to buy and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sporting Rifles mentioning here, Quebec wants to abolish. But they unanimously voted. Like this guy came in, they're like, we unanimously vote to abolish the monarchy. Yeah, it's one thing I can agree with.
It was interesting. They used the one post I saw said the state of Quebec.
Wait, the nation state of Quebec.
Probably, yeah. That's yeah. But it just I thought it was interesting wordage.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, as much as I'm against the monarchy, there's a practicality in here, right? Can we get rid of them? Well, you need to amend the Constitution. It'd be a huge pain in the ass to get rid of them, right? So at this point, we were just like kind of stuck with them because amending the Constitution would be painful for a whole host of reasons. Kyle, you're excited about something that you got in the news here?
I am. Well, I'm trying not to get too excited, but this is not Canada related, so sorry to our listeners, but I am kind of getting excited because the big, beautiful bill, it's a big tax bill, passed the House and is now in the Senate. But it's more than just the taxes, because apparently the Hearing Protection Act, suppressors, was included in that bill that passed the House. And so that is removing the tax stamp and registry, basically effectively removing suppressors from the NFA.
So you get...
So I walk into a store, I buy a suppressor and walk out. They are still stupid price, but...
No, they're not. If they're off the NFA, they're gonna get crazy cheap. That's my bet.
Crazy cheap or crazy expensive, because now...
Short term, crazy expensive, because the market firm is going to be everyone.
Like,
but
for a
in
cheap
the long
one,
term,
I'm looking for a cheap one for $223. I'm probably looking about $600 to $800. If I want a nice one, like I saw there was a Surefire, it's $1,700 just for the suppressor alone.
I could not imagine spending $1,700. No, I can't even hardly imagine spending $800.
I was trying to scope it out. Okay, this passes a Senate. What am I going to buy? There's another part, because GOA groups are trying to get the SHORE Act included as well, which is the SBRs, treating them the same as the suppressors, getting them removed from the NFA. So if that goes forward and it passes the Senate, I will be dancing, and I will be extremely happy.
Yeah, we'll be very jealous. Very jealous. So. SBRs, not so jealous. Suppressors, very jealous, because I would use a suppressor on my hunting rifle all the time. That's all I would use.
My hunting rifle, my ridiculous build, I've already decided, is probably going to get a suppressor. It's like a 10-inch barrel. I'll throw a suppressor on that. And
both, eh? Why not?
Yeah. But so
yeah.
And it will no longer be a pistol. I will put a nice stock on that.
A stock that you can shoulder properly without having a little crease in there.
Well, something that actually is meant to be shouldered, not, hey, we made this brace thing that you shoulder, you're good luck getting it on your arm. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Some good news and some bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh God, I see what you've done for other people.
I try not to put too much on the U.S. side, but that one is just too sweet for me that.
And if suppressors are all over the U.S. and nothing bad happens, you would hope at some point in Canada they'd be like, you know what, let's put this in.
It kind of sets a precedent with Hearing Protection Act. Hey, these guys just passed the Hearing Protection Act. Like, now, based on hearing protection, there's hope. And then if everybody wants to go, Britain, guess what? They use them for hunting. So why not?
Yeah. I don't want to use Britain as an example.
Well, no, because they make it mandatory. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that they do that. But I mean, it's like, even as restrictive as the UK is, they allow you to have a suppressor.
Yeah. I got to think that after, let's say a year after full legalization, no tax stamp, no nothing, suppressors are going to get dirt cheap because the machining on them is not complicated.
They're not a complicated piece.
Timu's making gas filters that they keep pushing on me. I'm pretty sure that's a CSIS op on me, but they can't be that expensive to make if they're pushing them from China. Now, keep in mind, there's going to be a quality difference, but
yes,
for a low quality one, I can't imagine you could get one for like more than $200. I bet you can get a $200 suppressor a year after everything's coming. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Because now that's I could see that because now you're just mass producing. It's no longer a limited market on people who are still under the mindset that they need to wait a year before they can actually hold the thing, which their times on that has been incredible from what I've been hearing. It's been people have been getting them within a week.
Mm-hmm.
So
they don't want to lose that gravy train
down, but it's still.
Yeah, they don't want to lose the $200 every time, so they're trying to give good service so people don't complain. But too late. Getting rid of them. All right, let's move over to new gun stuff.
Sporting Rifle is asking. If that bill passes, when Dems win, would it be easy for them to undo it? Well,
I don't think so.
Easy if they run the House and the Senate, because they're actually it's through legislation. So,
but why? But
right now, here's the other thing, because right now it's being passed under a budget reconciliation, so they don't need filibuster. Filibuster I think 60%. So. It would be easy, but it wouldn't be easy either, because to undo it, I think, unless you did it or find a way to do it under like a budget reconciliation, you would need to make filibuster, which that's incredibly difficult to get 60% to sign on.
I don't think they would even go for it, because suppressors were banned they were part of the NFA in the US a very long time ago. I think everyone's using them right now. And once they become non-tax stamp, a whole bunch more people are going to use them on both sides of the fence. Both the Democrat and the Republican side are going to start using those. Hunters are going to start using those more often.
Yeah. And even the DOJ has now reversed their stamps and said that suppressors are protected under the Second Amendment. Like, there is so many changes happening, and people just in the legal system that it is getting very interesting, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, so I don't think if this passes, I don't think the Democrats will reverse it in the future, because it has popular support.
Yeah, on both sides.
There's no point. Athlon Rangecraft Velocity Pro Radar Chronograph 2.4 inch display green. Yeah, they're starting to pop up on sale. This one is not on sale right now, but Brownells had them for $399.
$400, eh?
$400. Yep. Now I have heard some talk about these things. One thing I heard is that they measure a little bit higher velocity because they catch the bullet just a little bit quicker than some of the other chronographs out there.
Oh, okay. So it's like more of a true muzzle velocity.
Maybe. I don't know. You'd have to compare the.
Or is it it's not as accurate?
No, I don't think it's accuracy. I think the one review I had seen, it was a little consistently a little bit faster. But I think you'd have to compare it to magneto speed or something like that you're shooting over top to get that. But that's one thing I heard. The other thing I heard is that the app isn't nearly as intuitive as the Garmin one. So that's something to think about. I personally don't care. The way I used that Garmin thing when I board one for a review is I just put it on a new string every time I was like trying to do new cartridge or whatever, and then check the SD ED average and then wrote it on a piece of paper. But of course, if you want to get fancier than that, you don't use a piece of paper, you use the app and you store it on there, right?
Has it been compared to the Lab Radar one yet? Because now you got 3 of these compact.
Oh yeah,
Chromies.
yeah. But the Lab Radar one wasn't inexpensive. The Lab Radar one was
well, it was still $600 Canadian.
Yeah,
and I believe the Garmin was not much cheaper.
Oh, the Garmin was more.
It was just that. It was more.
Yeah, more.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was 700 0C1 or 799.
Yeah, because I thought for sure the Lab Radar was like $600 for their compact one.
799 Canada. Where can I find one of these in Canada? 799, 869. Yeah, 799 is the map pricing I see everywhere. In Canadian. Yeah. Sporting rifle. Saw one on the range. Nice bigger screen. Letters in Garmin. 450 Canadian. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I like that price.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice price.
I should have one of these on the way for review soonish. I was talking with Athlon about that. So
nice.
Be happy to review one of those. Next bit I have here. New M1 Garands in production for CMP. Which sounds really cool until I found out who was making it. This is made by Heritage Arms. And some of their other stuff isn't all that good. So maybe this is a good one. Maybe they're using some good parts in it. But I'm less excited about this now.
Oh, I forgot something for the news.
Oh, what was that?
The Rangers rifles. They have to replace all the stocks.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll get that in just a second.
Yeah.
So the M1 Garands, Heritage Arms is making them, and Heritage Arms. I don't know. I have one Heritage Arms, that Revolver 22. It's not the greatest. I'll put it that way. It's not the greatest. It's made to a price point, so I'm a little bit reticent about looking at something that's supposed to be like this high quality forging and all that kind of stuff in here. That it has to be. So I don't know, but I guess if they used like Criterion or something like that, like another third party for the barrels and that kind of thing, maybe it would be good. So because they're saying it's just one of their partners on here. So
okay,
I like to see more M1 Garands out though. It is a cool rifle.
That's cool.
Yeah. Sorry, you wanted to talk about your bit of news there?
Yeah. So I don't know a whole lot. I know it was posted on one of the signal groups or whatever, but yeah, so the Canadian Rangers, they all got those brand new, I think they're Tikas.
Yep.
With the laminate stocks, and apparently they're cracking. So now they got to basically get new stocks
at a cost of $10 million.
Now, are they going to go with just a standard synthetic, or are they going to replace them with another laminate stock?
I think they're going to do another laminate. Isn't that just the dumbest thing you've ever heard? This is a rifle that was purchased by a committee. Look at these poor saps. They're out in the middle of nowhere. They got to use this rifle. At least it's in 308 instead of 303 like the old Enfields. But it's heavier. It's iron sights. Wouldn't they rather have like a scoped rifle?
Yes,
I think I'd rather have a scoped rifle.
I mean, when I first saw the rifles they're getting, I was excited. Like, man, those are nice. But yeah, put an optic on there, and maybe even if you want to go laminate, maybe they should have been a better laminate stock. But or just go solid wood or synthetic.
So they use them skidooing and they treat them hard. But
so like
these were made by, I think parts of this were made by Colt Canada.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they ordered the rifles from Colt Canada. And the
contract was for $32 million. So now they got to spend a third of the contract price to restock these
stupid stocks. If they had went with synthetic stocks, I bet you the cost on this thing would have been $25 million, let's say, for the whole thing.
It would have been significantly lower. Yeah. but
Yeah.
they just wouldn't.
And
look
the rifles would have been
looked as
lighter.
pretty.
They'd have been easier to carry out in the middle of nowhere. They'd have
Now
been
you
more
got weight
durable.
savings that you can maybe put. Heck, even just a 1-4 or something.
1-4 would be great.
Yeah.
A nice durable 1-4, something that can really take a beating.
Yeah.
Maybe like a primary arms Cyclops. I can't imagine they would put a Chinese optic on these things. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, based on the initial Ranger rifle procurement, the performance requirements.
Vanja's watching that new 1-4 prism optic. There you go. Go sell that to the Rangers.
Yeah, they need something.
Yep.
Although, so showed signs of moisture absorption and cracking. Therefore, all of them will receive the new stock. The rifle remains an
it wasn't a good lamination process. I'd be interested to see where they got the stocks from. Sure. If it's a cheap synthetic, if you got extremely low temps, it's got possibility of cracking. But
I've hunted in -40 and none of my shit's cracked.
Yeah.
I think a really bad plastic. Like I remember going.
If they cheaped out again on something, then probably possibility. But if they got like a industry standard synthetic, I think you'd be fine. Yeah.
Like when I was a kid and we'd get out in those Halloween costumes, those really cheap plastic ones. And I used to live like north of where Kyle lived, and they would just crack to shit. But you wouldn't even get anywhere. Walk around -40, all your Halloween costume just cracks up and fades away. But I don't think they use that for their stocks. And I've never had a synthetic stock crack from very low temps. And again, I've hunted in like -40. I don't have any problems with eating my wood stocks either, but getting wet and that kind of thing. They're also in some coastal regions. So if they're coastal and it's cold, that's going to be really bad for those synthetic stocks. Sorry, not synthetic, for the laminate stocks. Yeah. Okay, where does that take us to? This one here. North Soul is bringing in these Panzer Arms M4 Speed Pro. Okay, so it's the Turk shit M4, but it's got some extra things done on it. It's got an oversized charging handle, oversized bolt release, ambi charging handle. It's had the bottom cut away, and it's got a QD on there. So I just want to show you. There's the QD on the side. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, for a single point sling or something like that. I like it. There's the bigger controls on it.
I like the ambi cut for the bolt handle.
Charging handle? Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Would you run it on the left?
I've debated it because there are companies that cut that, and I've debated it. But an unloaded, like a bolt lock reload, I'd have to change how I do that. But just for like malfunction clearing or something, the left side would be that would be good. I've debated.
Why not both? Put the charging handle on both sides.
Unfortunately, you could. You did. Yeah. You could, because you just have to make your post that goes through there, because only one detent in that bolt, so you just have to have one end that just screws onto your post that goes through the bolt.
Yeah. Oh, it's ported too.
Yeah,
barrel's ported. And the cutaway on the bottom looks okay. It's not going to be as aggressive as you want, but it's
something. Like it's better. I wish they showed a picture, because that's actually quite aggressive for.
Yeah, you can see the lifter like sticking out on the bottom there. Yeah. Looks neat. MSRP $749, but I didn't see any of these in stock anywhere just yet. I just like posting these whenever they come up. Iron Guns is bringing in like some Henry nonsense. This is the Henry lever action Axe 410. Nautical pirate themed brass, and so it's like Pirates of the Caribbean.
I would buy that.
Non-licensed Pirate of the Caribbean. Yes,
I would buy that. That looks cool.
It looks interesting.
How long's that barrel?
I don't know. It's a 410 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean. Here, I guess I can just click on it, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm 18 plus.
$1,300
US. 15.4 inch barrel. 5 rounds.
Okay, $1,400. Maybe.
All of a sudden, it's not cool anymore.
Well, it's still cool, but I don't know if it's $1,400 cool.
I don't know either. Anyways, I like it. It's fun. They're doing weird shit. I love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird stuff, Marstar's got the Dark Mountain Arms stowaway rifle. There's a bolt-action single-shot rifle. They have been 9mm and 5.7. This one I've got up here is in 5.7. Can I zoom into that? No? Okay, I guess I can't. It is, it's a single shot. Think of like your TNW ASR, ASW, TNW ASR. That's the correct structure of that, those words. It's bolt action, and you just drop a cartridge in there and close the bolt. That's it. Lightweight, very lightweight. Small. You can put a scope or a red dot on it. Kind of neat. And then $5.99, it's pretty affordable too. But when you look at it, like, there's not really a lot to be buying there. Anyways,
it looks like it's got an AR style grip, so you could.
Yep.
There's something you can customize on that. You can get your ergo or whatever you want to run for a grip on there.
Sure does look like it's an AR grip on there, yeah. And then this forend, that's your barrel nut. So that's what you screw on there. And it uses an AR style. Like the barrel has that same pin as an AR barrel. I don't think it's an AR barrel, but maybe it is.
Your index pin.
Yeah, it's got an index pin on there and everything. But I think the threads are a little bit coarser because you want to be able to just quickly put it on or off.
Right.
But they had all their 9mm gone, so they just have this 5.7 available.
Half by 28 thread. Nice.
It's a neat little rifle. In 9mm, I might be like, ooh, that's kind of interesting. If you can't have a PCC or something like that, or if you just want something lightweight for messing around while you're camping or hiking or whatever. Yep. And finally, the Henry Supreme is on store shelves in Canada. This is their lever action 223.
Detachable mag 223.
Detachable mag 223. Lever action $2,000. That's what they're going for. Can't say I'd buy one for $2,000.
Like you've been saying all along, like the prices on levers, like holy cow.
It seems a bit too much. If I can get like a bolt action or a pump or if I was in the US, like a semi-auto, actually I could get the AC-Dash Alcor for $1,500 and it's semi-auto and runs the same mags. It's probably going to get banned, and I imagine this won't, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, the detachable mag makes it more dangerous.
Indeed. Yes, it does. And the threaded muzzle of death on there as well. Yep. Anyways, that's here. It's $2,000, which seems like too much, but whatever.
When you get one to review?
I don't know. I guess whenever a listener is like, hey, try this gun. Then maybe then. What do we got on to our main topic? So for our main topic here, we've got common myths about firearms safety culture in Canada. And I was like, I don't know what the common myths are. I asked ChatGPT, hey, make me a list of what the common myths are. And it made them, and it answered them for me too. And some of the answers it gave were interesting.
Okay.
I kind of want to, So are you reading the list right now?
I have it up, so I
don't read it. Don't read it.
Okay, I won't. I have not looked at it. It is up there, but
I'll look at it because what I'd like to do is I'm going to ask the questions, and I want your take on it.
I'm going to minimize that window right now.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So I want to ask the questions. I want your take on it, and then we'll see what ChatGPT answered for it. And I have the answers for most of theirs, and I think the answers are going to surprise some of you guys. But okay, first myth. Canadians don't take firearms safety seriously.
So I'm going to say that is a myth. They, as a general rule, yes. Like anything, there are idiots out there, but the community does take firearm safety quite seriously.
Yeah, and these are all myths. None of these are true. These are all myths. ChatGPT said every legal gun owner must pass a certified safety course, CFSC or CRFSC, and safe storage and transport are legally required. This culture emphasizes responsibility.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that people actually take it seriously.
No, it's kind of like, everyone has to take their driving license, but you see the maniacs that are on the road.
Yeah, and then exactly.
But it's a bare minimum. It's a bare minimum. Yeah.
You at least have to be taught that. And so it's like you do know better because you were taught better.
You passed a test that showed you knew better at one point.
Yeah.
Maybe you lost that at some point. Next one. More legal guns means more crime.
Bullshit.
Okay. Why?
More legal guns means more crime. No, more illegal guns means more crime, especially with a system where they're registered. People aren't going to take the chances on a registered gun that will trace them right back to you.
Yeah. Yeah. ChatGPT says most gun crime in Canada involves illegally smuggled firearms, not those owned by licensed Canadians. PAL holders have lower crime rates than the general population.
I sure wish the government would read ChatGPT because ChatGPT seems to have it figured out.
Next one, gun owners are reckless or anti-government?
Reckless, no. Anti-government, yes.
I think I agree with you. Reckless, no. Anti-government depends on the space. So,
maybe not full libertarian, but
there's a Venn diagram.
Anti-big government. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of anti-government people are over here, but not everyone's anti-government. I think it's one of those ones. But they're saying the majority of gun owners are law-abiding citizens, hunters, sport shooters, farmers, veterans who comply with laws and advocate for safety and training. Next one, the U.S. and Canadian gun cultures are the same.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
The U.S. and Canadian gun cultures are the same.
Oh. Well,
they can't be the same.
No, they can't be the same. I'm kind of thinking like desires. Like they can't be the same, but there is a good number of Canadian gun culture that wishes they had what the U.S. has.
Yeah.
So
I'd say so.
Is that half of Canadian gun owners? I don't know. I think as much as I'd like to see it half or over half, I think it's probably lower, like maybe 20-30% of gun owners are desiring the US way of things.
Well, and I'd say and aside from what ChatGPT's got for an answer here, like one of the major differences is in self-defense, right? In the US, it's super common for people to buy handguns for self-defense and like have them in their cars or their homes or whatever.
Where self-defense in Canada is a faux pas. Yeah.
And you can't own a gun for self-defense
you just
in Canada.
Can't, yeah.
Unless you're important. ChatGPT says Canada's gun culture is more regulated and focused on hunting, sport, and heritage. There's no constitutional right to bear arms, and legal ownership requires training and licensing. I don't really like their answer on that one, but I guess.
Yeah.
If there's no need for firearms in modern Canadian society.
Yeah, there is. Not well. I even when I lived in Canada, defense both from people and animals. For sustenance, you like to hunt and get fresh food. It's not required, but it sure makes it a lot easier.
And I'd say, like, aside from need, what about just want?
Well, that's just
what about just like it's my hobby and I like it.
Need to be in that discussion.
Yeah. But ChatGPT says firearms are still vital tools in rural, indigenous, and northern communities for food security, predator control, and cultural practices.
I'd be interested to know what cultural practices involve firearms.
Hunting, shooting beer.
They already said
that's my cultural practice. Like, shooting beer.
Like when they say that, I think of like tomahawk or like the ceremonial knives that I think it's the Sikhs carry in that.
But we've had guns for long enough that they kind of have the same spot. Like there's my grandpa's like lever action hunting rifle that he's had since, you know, the 40s, or the 303 that the family's had since I don't know, WW2, I guess, somewhere around there, right?
Yeah.
Or my gopher gun over there that's from the 40s as well, right? Like some of those, like that cultural practice is hunting with those firearms.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's not nowadays, it's not for it, like we get food out of it, but I don't require food. I don't require
we don't. A lot of people don't need to hunt to feed themselves.
Yeah, but it's a cultural practice because my dad hunted and my grandpa hunted and my great grandpa hunted and my kids hunt, and that's the cultural practice bit. It's not required for food security for me. For some people it is, but not for me.
Okay.
Ask downtown Toronto 24/7 shooters about cultural practice. Yeah. Okay, next one. And I forgot to copy the answer here. Canadian gun owners are not concerned with public safety. I like these because they're like, you know, they force you to think about it.
I would say the majority of Canadian gun owners would love to have firearms for public safety, for personal defense, even though it's a faux pas.
Mm-hmm. And I'd say that
illegal.
Most Canadian gun owners know more about firearms used in crime than non-gun owners.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at a gun seizure, guns and drug seizure photo in Edmonton here, and I see, oh, yeah, got some drugs, and oh, there's a Prohib Glock. I know just looking at it that was smuggled in. I know that, but most non-gun owners wouldn't know that, and they were not concerned with how that gun got in, but they just want it off the streets. They're not as concerned with public safety, and they don't know how to solve that problem. Legal guns are the main source of gun violence.
I thought that was basically already in there, but no, it's smuggled firearms in from the U.S. or wherever.
Yeah, and they're saying RCMP and police reports consistently show that most crime guns come from illegal sources, especially the U.S. Now, really, like your definition of gun violence will change the answer to this question. If you consider suicide to be gun violence, well, then it's going to be yes.
Or you include airsoft into gun violence, like has been done in the past.
Yeah. Or misuse. They like to call that one misuse as well. Next myth, PAL holders don't get regular oversight.
Well, I know at least restricteds are daily.
Yeah, you get the daily background check with the continuous eligibility screening program. One of the strictest systems in the world, ChatGPT notes. Guns are only for self-defense. Kind of talked about this.
Well, in Canada, no, because self-defense with a gun is basically not quite.
You can do it. You can do it. It's
under the right circumstances, you can get away with it. But it is very frowned upon and like to be presented as that's illegal and that is no reason to own a firearm. So
okay, this next one you're gonna love. The media accurately represents gun owners.
Absolutely. They get it right every time.
Mainstream coverage often focuses on gun crime, rarely covering the legal responsible side of gun ownership. This creates a skewed public image. That's ChatGPT's answer on that myth. And I mean, I was actually having a conversation with someone about this recently. It's like, I don't know much about like how the media represents stuff, but everything I know a lot about, they do a really bad job of it. I know a lot about digital marketing. And if you ever listen to CBC's podcast on marketing with Bob O'Reilly. I can't remember what the name is. If you listen to him talk about anything, their knowledge about that stuff is like this deep. And as soon as they start talking a little bit about it, it's like, these guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. And that's a specialty radio show by a so-called expert. If you're a gun owner, you probably see the same thing. They like anything you know about, like they don't know what they're talking about on it.
Yeah.
Now, imagine it's like that for everything, because it is like that for everything.
That's a good examples. I don't know everything, but the stuff I do know about is completely misrepresented. So it's from that sample size, it's a pretty good bet that there's a lot more that's being misrepresented on stuff.
Well, and if you think about guns as like a political object, gun laws and that kind of thing, and you look at it and you look at how Canada's law works, it's like, yeah, it's purely political. There's zero practicality to this. You just know that because you know the sector very well.
Yeah,
it's probably like that for everything.
Oh, there's a very good chance. Yeah.
It probably is. It's probably
everything. So before we move on, like Sporting Rifle had an earlier one, and this Chat GPT has not been fact checked by our lib government. It needs to be banned. And yeah, like some of the answers are pretty good.
Yep. Gun owners oppose all gun laws.
No, actually, no. As much as we would love to just everybody own whatever you want, we understand that you can't just give everybody a gun.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to live in a society where there weren't idiots and dumbasses, but guess what? There's not a society around that doesn't have idiots and dumbasses. There's got to be some kind of either exclusion or preclusion. Like that's where like the US, it's everybody gets it unless you prove yourself, like you become a felon.
You prove
that you can't be trusted with that. So whereas Canada treats you like the felon, but you need to go through this course and then you proved, okay, you can do it safely, versus you prove that you cannot do it safely, or you're not a good person to be trusted with it. It is kind of operates from the both ends of it. But either way, you're identifying people that should not have them. So from that point, and I don't know many gun owners are like, no, screw it. I don't care if he shot up 100 people. Still let him have his gun. Like, I don't know a single gun owner that would say that.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. Between the license or the background check, I'm going to deviate from the standard libertarian position on this. I don't mind the license, because the nice thing that the license does is I don't need the background check. I go into the place, scan this card, I got it, or I can go buy from someone, or I can do mail order, and it's all easy. It's it's a very easy thing to do. It's how we do driving licenses. There's like I have no problem with the licensing. It's the specific firearms bans. It's the other additional restrictions.
Well, it's all the restrictions that follow that. Like it should be, hey, we've background checked you. Until you prove otherwise. Yeah, here, have your toys. Here's
a full auto. Here's a suppressor.
Yeah, here's your toys.
Yep. Rule number one is to have fun.
Yeah.
ChatGPT's answer: most support fair, evidence-based regulation, but object to bans and policies that punish legal gun owners while ignoring criminal misuse.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty accurate.
Yep.
Anyways, that's all the questions I got from ChatGPT, and I didn't feel like asking anymore. But that was kind of fun.
Yeah. Kind of impressed by ChatGPT.
If you give it the right question, it gives you some interesting answers, right? It gives you some interesting things to think about. Listener feedback. We've got an email from Tony. I don't know, the Countdown Tony. I never heard of this guy before.
He used to email the show. He took a break or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he took a break from emailing the show. Yeah.
Okay.
But it looks like he's back.
Okay.
Greetings, Slamfire Radio. After finally having a good day with my rimfire rifle at Steel Challenge, I'm seeing a few SBI ultralights on the line. Together with the disappointing election results, I'm thinking about building an action shooting race 1022. I'd like to hear suggestions from hosts and listeners alike. And if you're so kind to post your experience and recommendations on the Slamfire Discord server, that would be much appreciated. I have my heart pretty set on the Fletcher Rifle Works 1122 receiver, since I don't need much pick rail space. And I know if there isn't a good, easy way to clean it, I'll just not complete it and complain later. Thanks. Have a good night. Best regards, Cowtown Tony.
Okay.
The Fletcher, do we even have those in Canada? Like what an odd, like I get why he's going for it. That is an easy to clean action.
Okay.
Oh, Calgary Shooting Center has them. $349 for the receiver. That's not even that bad. So something to think about if you're going to scratch build a gun like this is, are you going to scratch build everything, or are you going to get a donor rifle and just move over the stuff that you want on it? Because you're going to need like bolt and pins and all this other crap. And if you scratch build it, you're going to pay probably $1,300 somewhere around there. But if you just get a donor rifle and move the stuff over, you're going to pay less.
Have you looked at that receiver?
Yeah.
That is...
You just like slide the plate off and you get access to the bolt so you can clean it off. It's a great idea.
Yeah, but like how far forward
he's going to run a red dot
rail section? Like you have a lot of forward rail on this.
Yeah, it's all forward.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great for a red dot. I wouldn't want to run a scope on there because it'd be like too far forward. But
well, no, it's got rail the whole length. So like when you're talking about your maple cedars and putting the scope all the way forward, you could get it right set perfect.
Like over top of the receiver is a flat plate, and then the rail part is like way forward.
Okay, because I'm on here. Let me present.
Okay,
because
maybe you're looking at a different version than I am.
I'm on Fletcher Rifle Works right now.
Oh, that one's different than the one I was looking at. That top rail section has to move. That middle part. So you see, like there's a crack in there. That's because the back part of that rail has to come off.
Oh,
so if you want like repeatability, you don't want that back part of the rail. So this other version just has a flat top for that spot, so you can easily pull the bolt out, clean it, because this makes it so you can just yank the bolt out the top. You don't need to pull it out the bottom. You don't need to remove the action screw, retension it, all that other crap. Take out the trigger group. It all stays in there. You just pull the bolt out the top.
Right.
Yeah, which makes it a lot easier. Oh, it's compatible with the HC3R 25 round mags. How convenient. Yeah, I think you got a winner there, Tony.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, but now you got to think about barrel, stock. Yeah. Ooh, stock.
Well, I'm actually interested in this on stock, because I got the gray birch receiver, which I was thinking going gray birch, but stock. What would you think for stock?
I would go like lightweight, maybe even SBI stock for that one.
Okay.
Where's mine? Just a second here.
I mean, barrel. Apparently, the Shaw Custom Works barrel I got is supposed to be good. I mean, you on this build, you can go crazy or not, but I would say a good bull barrel on it.
I wouldn't put a bull barrel if he's going to go race gun.
No.
I want something light. I want something to snap side to side. So you want something lightweight.
Yeah, but too light makes it too difficult.
Yes,
there's a balance.
Yeah. But that's the SBI ultralight stock. All it is this piece right here. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you put your grip, you put pick stock on the back of it, or they have an adapter so you can put the
free float. The handguard.
The handguard just is the action screw.
Oh, okay. Just on your V block there.
Yeah. So yes, it's a free float on the handguard right there.
I mean, if we really want to go minimalistic, there's the tandem cross that we were checking out with the like 3/4 inch.
That's another thing to take a look at, is that tandem. Yeah, actually, their barrel would be really cool, and some of their parts. But yeah,
was that tensioned barrel on that?
Yeah, I would look at that tension barrel because that thing was badass. But then lightweight on the lightweight, so you can snap it side to side, nice and low. Something that's like got a red dot. That Fletcher Works would be really nice.
And of course, I mean, trigger, you just got to run a Timney Kelvin Elite on that.
Or if you're cheap, you wait for the BX triggers to go on and you put one of those in there.
No, action.
$100.
You got to shoot fast. So you need that lightweight trigger.
Yeah.
Lightweight, short reset.
Yeah. That would be lightweight and short reset. Yeah. Yeah. Tony's saying there's a full length kit, but would not be as stable. Yeah. I think if you're just going to put a red dot on it, I would go with the flat top and the little like section of rail full forward. So you've got the room for it. And then, yeah, take a look at, Calgary Shooting Center. We were talking with Jeff at the booth there for, what's the company again? Tandem Cross booth. And they were getting some of the Tandem Cross stuff in, and that's all go fast parts for the 1022.
Yeah, that was a cool setup.
Yeah. Actually, 1022s, there's quite a bit of customization you can do on them. Maybe we should do a 1022 show.
We should.
I think we talked about customizing them before.
Have to do some research and just search everything.
Yeah. Coming up soon, Tony. That'll be our research show for you. So we'll do that, and we'll all research barrels and stocks and all that other kind of stuff. Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's get on to YouTube comments. Kyle, you got those up?
I do.
Cool.
So I will go back. It was 604. No, so because we didn't have comments, I will be reading from 605. So Eddie got his 3 comments in on that one. Starting off, Adriel, that short EOTech Voodoo 3-9 by 32 mil doesn't seem like a good substitute for LPVO. For me, 3 power is too much for low end of magnification. I would prefer to start at 1 or 1.5 power. I have to agree with Dustin. Shotguns are good combat platforms and are used in modern warfare, albeit not to the same level as carbines and saws, squadron automatic weapons. The U.S. military M1014 is a Benelli M4 shotgun. Many other major militaries, as well as law enforcement, use shotguns too. Do you use centerfire rifles for gopher hunting? If so, you can create your own varmint safari. That was a series of videos by a couple varmint hunters a couple decades ago showcasing their hunts. A lot of vermin getting launched into the air, sometimes with body parts going in different directions, or an awesome spray of red mist. It's not a video for the timid audience. I would love to see some of your gopher hunts like that.
Oh, you saw the ones where I was shooting with 22, right?
Yeah,
they don't explode or anything like that. I think you need both, like a lot of zoom, and you need slow motion to get that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's too
I think
fast.
the round too.
Yeah,
you need something that's going to expand on impact.
17 WSMR or WSM. Sorry, I'm just waiting for the Winchester, not the Wildcat, but their 17 WSM bolt. We played with one at SHOT Show.
Right.
I need it. I need it. I have the ammo.
Nice. Dave, regarding purchasing the Citadel AD500 as a non-restricted firearm, that will not prevent it from being confiscated. They have access to all store records. And then, oh, come on, you should be able to shoot 10 rounds in 10 seconds with your Enfield and CQC. You just need to channel that Mad Minute events.
That Mad Minute energy.
Yeah. And then this is the last comment for 605. Tony, regarding revolver chain firing, that's only an issue when using black powder and not capping the cylinders with wax or grease. Once cartridge ammunition came around, that issue went away. So you can buy that SR 410 with confidence now.
Yeah.
So then we got some comments on last week's episode. Dustin, for your U.S. shooting trip, do you need extra paperwork to bring back your pistols? I heard that since handgun imports were prohibited, that there's now extra documentation needed so you can bring your pistols back into the country. The R9s not being legal for sale without an FRT number shouldn't mean they're prohibited. You should be okay if you owned one before the law changed. And yes, our firearms laws and regulations make less and less sense every day that the liberal government stays in power. First part of that, yes, you did need to fill out paperwork to re-import your guns, but since Bill C-21 passed, that has actually gone away. That was like one of the only good things that came out of that bill, is that you don't need to fill out that import paperwork to bring your pistols back into the country. And then, oh yeah, and these are all from Eddie, by the way. Another comment from Eddie. Adriel, there are portable hand pumps you can refill PCP cylinders. Umarex makes one that charges to 300 bar. It has wings at the base for you to stand on while pumping, and multiple adapters for different connections. You'll get a good workout charging up your cylinders. Their advantages versus a tank or a compressor are space, weight, and portability into the field. Considering your last name, it's interesting that you speak Chinese but not French.
The compressor that I've got to crank up these tanks, it's 120 or 12 volt. So you could, in the field, hook it up to your car battery and charge out there.
There was an interesting reply to that from Tom Bryant. Now, a foot pump takes way too long to fill this tank. The GX CS4i compressor I got for it can use 120, 240, or even has 12-volt battery clamps for using my truck, quad, booster pack, etc. Not as portable as a foot pump, but still portable and quick.
There we go.
Just
it's his gun.
Saying.
Yeah, it's his gun, his pump. So yeah.
Oh, there you go. And then last one from Eddie, and then we got one more afterwards. Kyle, one way you could have carried a firearm in Alaska while off work, if you really wanted to, is to mail it to the place you're staying at, then pick it up when you get there. Of course, that would incur extra costs, and you'd have to mail it back to yourself afterwards. Yep, I could have. I could make excuses like I didn't know where I was staying until at that moment, and yep, it's just something if I was going out into the backcountry, spending some time in the backcountry, yes, absolutely. It wasn't as big of a deal for me to deal with the hassle, but you are 100% right. I could have absolutely done that. Dustin knows his bidets. The Japanese ones can get real fancy. A Tokyo hotel room had one that not only allows you to adjust temperature, but also change the spray width and angle. They also had a pulsating feature. Another big thing is Japan is 7-Eleven. It seems like there's one on every other block, and they had bidets in their bathrooms too. Congrats, you were the only one to make it through the show without losing any stars. No, there was two of us. Dustin and I did not lose any stars that episode. Adriel and Tony did.
Yeah.
And then our last YouTube comment was on Adriel's first look at the, what is it? The Canuck Wrangler Boss in 44 Magnum. And this is from the Independent Canadian. I got one. I like it as well. Got it in 357. Took the leather off the lever because it got gross, to be honest. I got the short version. It's almost the size of the mare's leg, but I wanted the 8+1.
And the stock. You want the stock. The mare's legs to shoot are terrible. You do want the full-size stock.
Okay.
Cool. We've been kind of doing the Facebook comments as we go in here. Discord. We have a Discord server. Right now we're talking about snakes. So one of our listeners had posted some photos of a bull snake on there. And I was saying like, that
was a good-sized bull snake.
I've never seen one.
It's a good-sized snake, period. But
all I've seen is garter snakes, so that looks like a big effing snake to me.
If that was a rattler, that's a good-sized rattler.
Yeah, we're talking about that as well as sharing memes and that kind of thing. So if you want to join in on the fun, go ahead on over to Discord and join the Slamfire Radio server. I'm not going to do this month, but soon enough we'll show what people bought from Cabela's and Brownells. Thanks to our supporters on Patreon and Player. If you'd like to email the show, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. You got any shout-outs?
Yeah. I got a few. And this all has to do with World Shoot. There was the Mini Rifle World Shoot and PCC. So, first off, shout out to the Canadian team. I saw Taylor. He I think was 117th in optics, and I mean, like, that's a stacked division. Like, there was over 800 people shooting that division.
Well, I was following his
PCC.
comments on Instagram there, and he was saying, yeah, I knocked this one stage out of the park, and I got 80%.
Yeah.
That's like
Well,
the level of talent there is crazy.
We got to remember, he's shooting with a borrowed gun, a gun he wasn't able to shoot until he got overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta say, like, I think he would have broken that 100 mark if he could have been like training with the gun he was going to shoot there. So kudos to Taylor right off the bat for that. I want to shout out, and they probably don't listen to the podcast, but Brian Nelson, he won PCC Irons. AJ Anthony, he's a fellow Timney shooter. He won overall the mini rifle shoot. Andy Heppert, he's a local guy that comes and shoots with us all the time. He shot on the PCC Irons team with Brian Nelson and John McLean. And sorry, but I don't know the third/fourth person on that team. Mm-hmm. But Andy, me and him, we race back and forth all the time. And yeah, he placed 27th for PCC Irons. So shout out to Andy for their performance. And the U.S. PCC Irons team won first. So Brian Nelson won first. And then, like, there was the first and third on the podium. And then John McLean and Andy. So, like, yeah, the U.S. team took gold for PCC Irons. I imagine they did for mini rifle. Even the women, like, I mean, Lena Mitchell, did really well. Diana Miller, I think, took silver for women's. So, like, kudos to all those people. I've shot with all of you, and it's awesome to have so many people that I know so high up there. So that's really cool. Congratulations, everybody.
Awesome. I got a shout out for all the Maple Seed instructors that helped me out this last weekend here. We had a boatload of like super experienced guys. It was super easy to run the event because it was like every time I was like, okay, well, I guess next I have to hand out these targets. I turn around and someone's already like handing them out to the other instructors. It's like, oh, I guess that's taken care of now. And I guess next this person has to do this. And they're like standing at the mat. They're ready to do their thing. It was just, even though it was our first event of the year, flawless. Absolutely awesome. Flawless. Yeah. Saturday and Sunday. They're both fantastic and both extremely easy because of all the help we had with their experienced instructors. Any other shout outs?
No, that's it for me.
Cool. All right. Join our Discord server. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Player. Join the CCFR. And we'll see you all next week. Later.
See you next week.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.